Hey, what's up? This is Joshua. Don't ask me why I decided to record under a highway overpass, but I thought this disgusting wall was very scenic. It is falling apart, beautiful in its own special way. Okay, so welcome to the start, not the start series. What series is this? This is the mistake series. And let's see, so we have done one video already. What was that video about? It was about habits. It just came out today. And I think maybe one of the things that's frustrating about this particular series is there's so many things that I could talk about because I am no stranger to making many mistakes. But I think an idea I want to talk about, because I kind of touched upon it in that other video, is about the idea of it's going to seem so corny, but the Buddhist idea of karma. Karma is one of the most misunderstood aspects of Buddhism, because typically we just think it means that somebody acts like a shithead to you, and you're going to be like, don't worry, karma's going to get them. But the maybe most misunderstood thing about karma is that karma is about you. It is not about other people. If someone acts like a shithead to you, that is your bad karma coming to fruition. At the same time, if somebody gets your coffee with a smile on their face, that is your good karma coming to fruition. That's the good karma of having access to coffee, the karma of having access to money to buy the coffee, the karma of encountering pleasant people. All of that stuff are karmic seeds coming to fruition. Now, the reason that this idea, I think, is relevant to the idea of habit is that when the basic sort of, I'm going to run into the really basic ideas of this stuff very quickly. So a karma is anything that you think, say, or do. So the thought, I hate you, has a karmic, plants a seed that ripens and comes to fruition in reality in some way. The phrase, if I go up to someone and say I hate you, that has a slightly stronger karmic reaction. And if I then punch that person in the face, there's another karmic reaction to that. So in this sort of grand scheme of things, there's no such thing as neutrality. Everything you're doing either hurts or it harms. Now, you could freak yourself out and not ever do anything again in the hopes that you would be acting in a neutral way. But the basic gist of things is to go okay, if I do this and then I do it again and again and again, for example, will that be helpful or will it be harmful? And one of the things that you have to start to wrap your head around is the idea that you are worthy of not being harmed. So that if you're doing something and you realize that in the cumulative effect it is hurting you, there's sort of two sort of karmic things happening. You're creating bad karma for yourself and you're experiencing the fruit of that bad karma. Okay, so you say, think, or do something. There are three ways that your karma comes to fruition. One is that the thing that you've done comes back to you. So you say I hate you to someone, and someone else, maybe not necessarily that person, comes back and it says I hate you, or maybe they talk shit about you behind your back, or maybe they try to get you fired because they hate you. But somehow you experience something that is similar in spirit to what you've done. The other ones, and this to me is the more insidious one, because that is actually just magical thinking. It's a way of using external forces as a behavior modification device. So if you keep experiencing people plotting against you, the goal of Buddhism is for you to examine, okay, well, have I been plotting against someone? And if you have, neutralize that to stop it. So it's a form of thought reform. It's just a fairly potentially benign one, or not even benign, but it is maybe a positive one. It's not brainwashing. The other two results are that it is easier for you to do the thing that you've done once again. So if I'm trying to think of something like fairly mellow, but let's say like I snap at my kids. Okay, so my kids are irritating me, but they're just being kids. But I snap at them and tell them to shut up or be quiet or go to their rooms or stop making noise or whatever it is. Um, a sort of one of the karmic fruits of that is that by doing it once, it is easier to do it again. That it actually sets up that the whole notion of habit, that you repeat something and it becomes easier and easier to do because you start to create new neural pathways to support that. That is basically the Buddhist idea of karma as a physical reality. So then I say it again, and maybe the next time I say it, I'm either more quick to anger or I'm louder or whatever. And that this keeps building up and up and up. It escalates. And this is why in Buddhism the idea of what you think is very important, because your thoughts lead to words and your words lead to actions. So that to me is like the biggest thing, is that every time you do something that maybe you're like, well, I'm only hurting myself. Well, eventually that thing is going to get big enough that it hurts other people. You're going to start being a problem for other people, but then there's the other aspect of you should care for yourself and you should value yourself. And that by doing so on a certain level, not in a narcissistic, psychopathic way, but by valuing yourself and doing things that are helpful to yourself, you become able to better serve those around you. There's like the whole sort of martyrdom idea. If you kill yourself saving everybody around you, what's the point? You actually end up having to stop because you can only save so many people harming yourself. And it doesn't mean don't do any form of self-sacrifice, but it does mean like, what's the point of not sleeping at all in order to help everyone else when you could help a little bit less people, but you could sleep and take care of yourself and have a longer lifespan and a healthier, more energetic one. So all these habits, like watching too much TV, maybe stealing time from your employer, cutting corners in your work, not proofing things, any number of those things, each of them has a karmic reaction, which is it becomes easier to do it again. And each time it becomes easier, it blows up in intensity. Either it's easier for you to do the exact same thing again, or you do it slightly worse. If you've ever wondered, like, you hear about some corporation that gets into massive corner cutting stuff where people's lives are actually put at risk. It's not that one mistake they made. That's the karmic reaction of the first time they cut a corner, and then the second time, and it builds up and up and up. It's a very powerful idea. I don't find the other stuff quite so useful because it's mostly magical thinking. It's not that much different than praying, but that part is useful. So that is today's video, and thanks.